Hi everyone, we're going to go ahead and do a quick video on reviewing all the properties for logarithms when we're expanding and condensing them. The main reason why I do this is because I see them a lot in calculus. And usually it's the algebra that kind of messes people up when they're trying to do calculus. So I definitely want to make sure your skills are really strong in this area. So just as a reminder, let's take a look at our regular properties. Now I'm going to put things in the form of natural log or mainly natural logs and log base 10. But remember, this applies to any log of any base. So the basic rules are if we have a log of any base, where they're being multiplied, m times n, that is going to change to a sum. Now remember, this is goes hand in hand with your laws of exponents, right? Because remember, if I was doing regular multiplication with laws of exponents, I would add the exponents. Okay, so I kind of want you guys to see how these go together. And then we have the quotient property. And again, we have gone over these, but I want to kind of, and you probably went over these in Algebra 2 as well, but I think it's important that we review them and do some practice as well, so that we can get to the point where we're actually solving logarithmic and exponential equations. So when we divide, we subtract. So that should remind you of this cute little thing here where we are subtracting our exponents. And then finally, the power property. This one's a little bit harder to tie into, but remember when we do a power of a power, this is x to the, let's do x to the a times b. So if I have log base b to the n, what happens is I bring that exponent to the front. Okay. All right. So those are our quick and review of our basic logarithmic properties. And I wanted to kind of give you some examples of both expanding and condensing, and I wanted to make them a little bit more complicated because we've done the simple stuff, right? You've done that simple stuff in Algebra 2, and I want to get into a little bit more complicated. So first thing we're going to do is let's just condense, okay? So let's condense. When I have log, and that shouldn't be a capital L, so forgive me, log 72, remember that's base 10, minus 1/3 times 2 log 4 plus log 32. Okay. Now, I take this step by step. As you get better and better at this, it's going to get easier for you, but I want to kind of just get you to the point where you feel a little bit more comfortable. So let's go ahead and handle this 2 log 4. So, and remember, this whole thing is being brought to the cube root. Okay? So, we have log of 72. And we are subtracting, now watch what I'm going to do here, log 4 squared plus log 32, all brought to the 1/3 power, okay, which is also the cube root, so don't forget that. So let's go on the inside here and see that we've got log 72. And remember, see how I show all my steps? It's so important. So I've got 4 squared. So that's log of 16 plus log of 32 to the 1/3. Okay, now because we have this addition, we are again going, and this is minus, remember, so we're gonna go ahead and pay attention to this minus right here. We're gonna go ahead and multiply these. So this is log 72 minus log 16 times 32, bringing that to the 1/3. Okay, so 16 times 32 is 512, so that is log 72 minus the log of 512 brought to the 1/3 power. So when we do this minus, remember, we are going to go ahead and divide. Okay, so I have on the top now log of 72 divided by log 512, and that's the cube root of that, so that to the 1/3. Okay, so the cube root of 512 is 8. So log 72 divided by 8 is equal to the log of 9. Now again, this makes it so much easier when we're doing things like solving equations and stuff like that. So let's do one more condensing, and then we'll go ahead and do some expansion, because those are also useful as well. So let's do one more condensing. So let's look at this. These again are very, very complicated. Most of the ones that you're going to see are going to be a little bit less complicated, but I wanted to work from the really challenging ones first, so we could work from there. So I've got a minus 1/4 log, and then I've got 16a squared. Now, this one is definitely challenging, so I really like this one. So again, we're going to bring these, first of all, let's go ahead and bring these exponents to where they need to be. So we've got log a to the 3/2 minus log 16a squared to the 1/4. Now we're going to go ahead and remember this subtraction means division. So we're going to do log a to the 3/2 divided by 16a squared to the 1/4. Now the 4th root of 16 is 2. So this is equal to log a to the 3/2 divided by 2a to the 2/4. And how did I do that? Remember, I did this 2 times 1/4. Okay, now let's reduce that. So, because 2/4 is equal to what, guys? 1/2, right? So I have log a to the 3/2 divided by 2a to the 1/2. So when we divide, this is where we kind of take this the next step. A to the 3/2 minus 1/2. Remember, when we're dividing, we're going to subtract these. So that's just going to be a to the 1. Okay? Because it's 2/2, which is a to the 1. So then that means that we're going to have a positive, and a with a positive exponent, that's a log. So a on the top and 2 on the bottom. Okay? Again, lots of steps involved there, but hopefully you start to enjoy them. I always have fun with them. So, okay, so let's do some expanding. We condensed, now let's stretch it all out. So say I have the natural log of 5 p cubed q to the 4th power squared. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is take this 2 and bring it out in the front. So this is 2, and again, until you're really comfortable with it, please, please, please do it step by step by step. Now, all right, so this is 2 times this natural log. Now, I can expand this as well. So remember, this is 2 times the natural log of 5 plus the natural log of p cubed plus the natural log of q to the 4th. Now remember, with those exponents, I can still bring those out to the forefront as well. So I've got 2 times the natural log of 5 plus 3 times the natural log of p plus 4 times the natural log of q. And then finally, I can distribute that 2 in there, and I get 2 times the natural log of 5 plus 6 times the natural log of p plus 8 times the natural log of q. Okay? All right, so I'm going to do 2 more of these expansion because I think they're really worth the time. So let's just take one that seems kind of basic, log, where we have c squared over d to the 4th power. So again, let's worry about this 4 first. Okay, so 4 in the front, log, and I'm going to have c squared divided by d. Now remember, when we do this, we're going to go ahead and bring, when we do subtraction when we see division. So that's going to be 4 times the log of c squared minus the log of d. And then I can deal with this exponent right here. So I have 4 times 2 log c, sorry guys, minus, so 2 log c minus log d. Now remember, you can, having a trouble writing. So we're going to go ahead and now we're going to distribute that 4 in there. So that becomes 8 log c minus 4 log d. All right. Let's do one more. This is a challenging one. I want to do this because it's very important that you guys recognize that your roots are also rational exponents. So then we have log, and then we have x squared plus x. Okay, so first things first, let's turn this to log x to the 1/3 divided by x squared plus x. So I've got, now I'm going to divide here, which means I'm going to subtract. So this becomes log x to the 1/3 minus log x squared plus x. Okay, now let's look at it this way. When we have x squared plus x, this becomes log x to the 1/3 minus log of x times x plus 1. Now I know this is a stretch, so just hang in there with me. Because we're multiplying these, now we can make them into a sum. So we can really simplify it. So again, I'm going to go ahead and deal with this exponent right here. So that's now 1/3 log of x minus log of x plus log of x plus 1. And I put this in parentheses because it's important to notice that this is all, these are in parentheses because it's important to notice that these are one unit, right? All right, so we're going to leave it at that. I don't like to make my videos more than like 15 to 20 minutes, usually less than that. But hopefully this helps, and stay tuned for more videos in the future.